Hey guys, welcome to my new basement suite project here in Bowness. Right now we're at the pre-drywall stage, so I'd like to show you and give you a progress update. Let's go check it out. Okay, so if you guys remember last time, this was one door over here with a little glass on the side. The contractors actually reframed this opening into two separate doors. So this door goes upstairs to the main floor suite. This door over here is going to go to the basement suite, and the middle in between the stairs has been completely walled off to create two separate stairwells. Okay. So yeah, let's go inside and check it out. Welcome to the heart of this new basement suite. So this is going to be the future living room / kitchen area. So let's kind of move into the kitchen area. I'll kind of show you how everything's been set up and how it's going to look in the future when it's all done. We're going to have an L-shaped kitchen starting from here. So you can see all the counter plugs over here. You can see your 240 for the stove right over here. And as with all new basement suites, your ranges have to be vented through a hood fan directly outside, so we've got that ductwork here in place, and then you see all the plumbing work. So plumbing was a fairly big job at this project, because considering it's an older property. So we did have to do a lot of trenching. So if you look at the ground, you'll see all the trenches that were done. All the plumbing in this property has been updated with new ADS lines underground, all new PEX water lines. So one of the benefits of kind of splurging up front is that you have lower maintenance costs down the road. And plumbing issues tend to generally create a lot of havoc and destruction, especially if they go unnoticed. So for me, it's a worthwhile cost to spend the money up front. So yeah, this is an L-shaped kitchen, like I said previously, so it kind of carries through, ends right about here. And then the bonus of this basement suite is that you do have an additional kind of walk-up entrance that was already existing, which is nice. And then, of course, as we move over to this side, we replaced the original fixed glass with a new dual pane slider, which should improve the energy efficiency as well. And if you notice in this basement suite, we actually went a bit more than code. We're using R10 rigid foam insulation here on the walls. And in these kind of wall cavities, we're going to fill them with R14 rock wool insulation, which should help keep the place nice and warm and avoid temperature fluctuations with the furnace kicking on and off. One additional thing that I wanted to cover is in this living room area. As you can see in the ceiling, we've got lots and lots of pot lights. I'm a huge fan of pot lights, especially for a basement suite. We want to make sure that the space always feels inviting and bright at all times of the day. We have pretty big windows here, but I like to make sure that it's bright throughout the day. So we added lots of pot lights, and obviously if you don't want it quite as bright, you always have dimmer switches so you can tone them down. Okay, so now we're just right outside the bathroom of this basement suite. So the dimensions of this bathroom are 5 by 8, which is a pretty typical size for a bathroom. So we're going to have right in front of me a 36-inch vanity with a mirror and a light here. And then your usual stuff. So you're gonna have your toilet, and then we always like to put in a bathtub if there's only one bathroom in the unit, as opposed to a shower. So we'll put in a bathtub here, and you've got your usual stuff like a fan. If you take a look here, you can see all the plumbing here. All this is new plumbing, new HVAC. But like I said earlier, for me it was a worthwhile endeavor to splurge on the plumbing, especially since this property is going to be a long-term hold. Okay, so right now we're in the laundry / electrical panel room. So as you can see here, we've upgraded the electrical to a 200 amp panel and service. So by doing it this way, there's lots of room to add future circuits. As you can see, there's lots of room here. And then we have our washer and dryer setup. So the washer's in here, dryer's gonna be here. We're gonna actually get rid of this little bulkhead here, so ignore that for now. But if you look at the ground, you're going to notice there's a little stub out. So what I've actually got the plumbers to do is actually put a floor drain here. So should your washing machine ever leak in the future, everything's going to go into that floor drain as opposed to kind of getting under your flooring and causing future issues. Okay? So this is one of the benefits of doing a brand new suite, is you can add in things like that. Whereas with an existing suite, you kind of have to deal with what you have, right? Now, obviously, to run all these drain lines, you can see the trench. A trench had to be made, and there's all new plumbing lines underneath here. Okay, so right now we're standing kind of right outside the mechanical room, or the heart of the whole home. So one of the requirements for a new basement suite is to have 2 separate sources of heating for each unit with independent ductwork. So what was originally here was, one furnace with a shared ductwork for both units. So all that had to be completely redone. In this project specifically, we actually relocated the entire mechanical room to this new location here, just to fit the 2 furnaces, and because it's a new suite, we could design the size of the mechanical room. Now, I like to keep my mechanical rooms pretty compact because it's often wasted space in a lot of properties that we see. So the way we've designed it is with an offset. You can see the 2 furnaces are offset from each other so that they do have clearance in front of them for servicing, but they're not super cramped either. Now over here, we also do see an electrical junction box. So in case you're wondering why that's over there, that is the location of the original electrical panel. So we had a lot of electrical work done, so we upgraded the service and we relocated the electrical panel to the laundry room that you saw earlier. Okay, and if you're wondering, okay, where is the hot water tank? The hot water tank is actually going to be a tankless unit. It's going to be wall mounted right here. That's going to basically be the source of hot water for both up and down units. For a new suite, you don't need 2 separate hot water tanks. One hot water tank works just fine. One thing you do want to keep in mind is the shutoffs have to be separate for each unit. So when you run your water lines, you have to be able to turn off the water to each unit individually. One last thing about this mechanical room here is the door. So the city requires that your door be a solid core door. That's at least 45 millimeter, which works out to about 1 3/4 inches in thickness. So you'd find that your typical doors at Home Depot and the big box doors are 1 3/8 doors. So just keep this in mind. These doors are often a special order item that you'll need to order ahead of time. They do take a while to show up. So they need to be solid core, 1 3/4, and they need a self-closing device. So often you can achieve this requirement by putting a spring-loaded hinge that keeps the door closed once you let it go. In this particular case, often you'd see an in-swing door, the door that opens into the mechanical room. In this case, it's going to open outwards. So right now we're in one of the bedrooms. So this is technically the smaller of the 2 bedrooms because the mechanical room is right behind us. We've got the usual stuff, a closet, but if you look at the egress window, I opted to go for egress windows that are larger than average. Just because look at how much light it lets in, it just feels like you're in a walkout basement type of feel, even though this is not a walkout property. So these windows are 48 by 36, and they're slider windows. So obviously, I had to get a concrete cutting window company to kind of tackle this project. So yeah, so that's what they did. One additional kind of bonus feature that was not required is, if you notice over here, I added data cables. So working from home is becoming more and more common. So if a tenant in the future ever sets up a home office in this room or something like that, they could hardwire their computer to the internet instead of connecting over Wi-Fi. So yeah, that's just a bonus feature that we did. Okay, so one additional thing I wanted to cover is, because this is a new suite, you have the flexibility of putting the plugs where you want, as long as they meet the code requirements. So in this case, I actually asked the electrician to put the plugs spaced apart so that a queen bed will fit perfectly in the middle, and you have plugs perfectly spaced on either side for your nightstands or night tables. Now you notice a huge hole in the ground here, and that's because we have the new sewer cleanout location. And we're going to put an access panel here once the flooring is all finished, so that way you can just lift the cover off and if you ever need access to it. But basically, this is where the sewer line to the house was coming in. And you can see the sewer line was originally a cast iron drain, and it's all been replaced to ABS now, up till the foundation wall. So we should never hypothetically have to open up the floors again. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this video. So in the next video, we're going to show you the finished product once everything's done. So paint, flooring, trim, kitchen, and all that. So yeah, look forward to seeing you on the next one.